Hi guys, I've just published my first video in English on this channel, and all hell broke loose. It's not wonder that this guy, a Russian fascist, is trying to bully me in some way because I've switched from Russian to other languages. That's not the first time he's doing this. He was trying to make fun of me about the Ukrainian language, and now he's trying to make fun about English. I don't know. But that's not surprising to me. What was kind of more surprising is the guy who claims that he's against Russism, against Russian fascism. He's probably against Putinism, probably so-called Russian oppositioner, or not necessarily Russian. He might be even Ukrainian, I don't know, but this guy started from the beginning trying to demonize me. He was making these really stupid claims that I'm against Russian language. Like if I decide to use Ukrainian or English, then what? I'm some kind of language Nazi. It's my choice what language I use. If I don't want to use some language, that has nothing to do with being a nationalist or being some kind of fascist. I'm not telling you what language you can use or cannot use, but all I had to do to become the target of this demonization is just to stop making some type of content in Russian, and it's like, oh, you're discriminating against me, russophobia. Holy shit. By the way, this guy edited his initial message, initial comment. I hate when people do that. I have no way of knowing it unless I deliberately go and look at the comment later. Why do people do this shit? Why? Okay. So this guy is writing that unfortunately I became irrational, I'm a stupid fanatic, etc. Oh, he's editing his messages so badly, holy shit. I didn't see this. Okay, so I'm just saying that it's really interesting and surprising to me how even Russians who oppose Putin, who oppose Russism, right, this Russian fascism, they also think in these narratives that if you use your national language, if you switch from Russian to Ukrainian, for example, you automatically become a crazy Nazi. This algorithm kicks in, algorithm of strawmanning and demonization. These people don't understand that I'm not against Russian language. I am using Russian every day in my life. But no, I'm a crazy Nazi who is a russophobe. And even if I stopped using Russian completely, how would that make me an unreasonable, crazy Nazi? I didn't realize that, but that's how many Ukrainian-speaking people have probably felt. And I'm just starting to get this now. If you start speaking Ukrainian, you automatically become irrational. They don't say it, but it looks like it's irrational to speak Ukrainian. It's stupid, it's, I don't know, it's even toxic. You're a toxic person if you speak Ukrainian. If you speak Ukrainian, you're oppressing me. I feel uncomfortable if you decide to speak another language. Oh, holy shit. Where do these people come from? That's why a lot of Ukrainians have problem with a lot of people from the Russian opposition. Because they often start to just demonize, start to make strawmans. If you're a fan of your national language, of Ukrainian, for example, or Belarusian, they automatically start to demonize you, start calling you a russophobe or some irrational fanatic who's just crazy about language. No, guys, you are the ones who are crazy about language. If you can't handle when people make free choice of just to use another language, if that triggers you so much, you are the fanatics. When you automatically start demonizing people just for updating their language preferences, it's you are the ones who's being irrational and toxic. Yeah, I've been making content in Russian, and probably I will be making videos sometimes in Russian, but I don't have much time for that. Making videos in Russian just won't be a top priority for me. And I'll be speaking about Russian fascism in those videos. But this fact just triggers these snowflakes so much that they don't just unsubscribe, they freaking try to force me almost to go back to making content in Russian, not in Ukrainian or English, no. Continue making content in Russian, or else you're a stupid fanatic, and I'm unsubscribing, and everyone else should also unsubscribe. So in his latest comment, this guy is saying that he's ashamed of me, this manipulative shaming, and that it's a pity that the war has turned me into this irrational creature, this weird irrational creature. No, dude, you claim that you're against Russian fascists, but you think just like them. You start demonizing people just for speaking their national language, or even not their national language, English language. I don't know, any other language than Russian. You behave exactly like Russian fascists. And that's what I want to say to all those people who call themselves Russian opposition. Stop demonizing people. That's my message. I think it's really important. Stop demonizing nationalists. They're not all crazy like you maybe think. Stop demonizing people who switch to another language. It doesn't mean that they have some irrational beliefs about linguistics, about the nature of languages. No, what language to use, it's not an is question, it's an ought question. It's, these two categories in philosophy. It's not what is, it's not a question of rationality, knowledge, science, or something like that. It's just a question of your choice. If people choose to speak another language, it says something about their desires, and not necessarily about their is beliefs, their beliefs from the category of what's true. If some Ukrainian decides not to speak Russian, but just Ukrainian, it doesn't mean this is a psychologically damaged creature who's behaving irrationally. And maybe someday in the future, this stupid creature will become a reasonable human again. If you think like that, you're just as crazy as all the other Russian fascists. So get the hell out of my channel. You're not welcome here. Of course, I'm not speaking about all Russian oppositioners. There are a lot of reasonable, brave, awesome people, but there are also people like this, who are against war, against Putin, against Russianism. But if you dare switching from Russian to Ukrainian, you're a crazy Nazi. Well guys, that's it for today. I thought that was important to talk about this. Until the next time, and don't forget that our level of totalitarianismophobia is not high enough.